Welcome to Neo Racing League Division Alpha Season 3, race number 4, the Italian Grand Prix. Let's see, Rambos is pushing, but he's in the first sector. Who's the Mets going to the pit? Ferrari's approaching the start-finish line. To improve, yeah, he's going to improve. By how much? Oh, good lord, 129.8 from 10th. FKA and the FKA Mojo Dams to put himself in the provisional post position at the moment. There was an RPM crossing the finish line. It was Marcel, who is, I believe, starting his lap. I might be wrong, but anyway. Who's also approaching the finish line. Jans Rambos, who is improving by 1.6 seconds through the second sector, so Temp's time as a provisional post might come to the end. Yep, there you go. 129.3 from Jans Rambos to put himself in that first spot at the moment, with still a couple of minutes left in the session. Garrigator still cannot get the valid lap time set. Barkster goes wide on the exit, still somehow keeps it validated. What the lap time he's gonna set? 132.3, and that's P8 as it stands. Let's see, Debug isn't validated, isn't parabolic. He might have barely any fuel in this car. That's why the yellow flag has been released in the third sector. We have a minute and 10 seconds left in this qualifying session. Jay is currently Rambos, Temp, Jay, Marcel, Debop, Mantis, Neo, Barkster, and Garrigator. I would assume Garrigator is done with this session. Rambos is potentially on the push lap, but Temp is not going to improve. He's in pits. Jay is pushing on to improve, so does Marcel. T-Bob is not going to improve then. Mantis is in his outlap, Neo is pushing on, and Parkster is invalidated this attempt. Could potentially go into the pits. But we'll see. 30 seconds left. Will Jans Rambos retain that pole position or not? That's the question. Parkster will push on for one more then. With 23 seconds left, if he has enough on his tank. Rambos is behind Jay. Jay is actually on course to improve on his lap time, and he does 129.4, but misses out on that pole position. Rambos is pitted now. Jay, is he pushing again? I'm not sure. We'll see. We see Pump Mantis cross the finish line just as well. He's on the intermediates, which is interesting, so we'll watch him do his job. And he crosses the finish line, 5th place from the Haas driver, 131.0, jumps ahead of Depop and Mantis at the moment. Parkster is retired on track, I believe. I might be wrong. But let's watch Mantis, how he's going to improve with those intermediates. 12 thousandths off in the first sector by the Sauber driver, who is pushing on to improve on his current lap time, which is 131.5, which makes him 7th fastest driver at the moment. Marcel improved to P3 with 129.7. Temp improved to 129.8. Actually, he did that before. Never mind, ignore me. What about Jay? Jay is not improving, so Jay is not gonna. He's just gonna stay in P2 at the moment. That is until if Pump Mantis does something about it. Did he improve in the second sector? We didn't get that delta showing up, but we'll see once he crosses the finish line. Jay lets Mantis through quite comfortably. But yeah, let's see Mantis. Is he gonna improve? Not quite. He's sliding on the exit. Got a bit of a green part of the track there. He does improve 130.2. And that will put him in P5. The lights are flashing. 5 lights are out for the Italian Grand Prix. And the wheels are spinning. And it's a good start from Rambos. It's a decent start from Jay. It's a much better start from Marcel, who's already ahead of Jay. And also Temp, who got ahead of him. It's Temp and Marcel side by side heading into the first corner, with Rambos comfortably leading. Is it Marcel or is it going to be Temp on the exit of the second corner? It is Marcel who's keeping that P2, but Temp is going to keep him honest around the inside, who switches to the outside, and Temp, it looks like Temp is gonna get him around the outside through Variante Del Rogia. Now they're going. Rambos made a bit of a mistake there to allow Temp to close in, but Temp second place to start a two-place jump already. Marcel made a mistake in that section, allowing Jay to get ahead through that section of the corners, and Jay is back in the top three, with Marcel now dropping to fourth. Mantis is struggling on the exit there of Lesmo 2, dropping the position to Neo, but he's now endangered from Parkster, who's gained some positions there. He's fighting with Mantis for P6 at the moment. Parkster on the inside of Ascari. A bit of a concept between the two makes Mantis go off the track, and Parkster inherits that sixth place, but Mantis is not going to give it up just yet, as they're going through this final straight before we reach Parabolica. Gary Gator is now ahead of Depop to take 8th position. Parkster and Mantis going through Parabolica as Mantis goes around the outside there. Will he make it stick? Will he make it stick? Looks like he's going to make it, but Parkster is not going to give it up just yet. Temp sets the fastest lap of the race. He actually took the lead from Rambos, and he's now the leader of this race, ahead of the Mercedes. Rambos narrowly misses his teammate there on the first corner, allowing Marcel to capitalize on that opportunity, but doesn't have enough space and traction to take that position. Parkster and Mantis is still squabbling, allowing Gary Gator now to come through around the inside through two of them, and Gary Gator is now P6, gaining 3 positions now, ahead of Mantis, ahead of Parkster, who was now back in his original position. Bit of a concept between the two. Is now pushed around by D-Bob, and he's facing backwards into Variante Del Rogia chicane, and he is now dropping very far back from everybody, as Mantis and Gary Gator are fighting through Lesmo 2, with Gary Gator keeping the position, but D-Bob is also right behind them. Marcel and Neo are fighting for P4 at the moment. Neo got ahead of Marcel, heading into Ascari, allowing the Hush driver to take P4 on the track, but Marcel is now dropping positions one by one, heading into lap 3 now. Marcel is looking for some kind of a bit of a bump there on the rear of Neo, but seems to be okay. Mantis and Gary Gator are squabbling through the first Parabolica. Gary Gator has it inside, but has much more traction than Mantis, seems like, and Gary Gator will keep that D6 for now. Neo and Marcel are squabbling, heading into the first corner. Neo will keep it for now. How about Mantis and Gary Gator? Gary Gator still ahead there. Yellow flag for Parkster, who missed this bit. Okay. Yeah, that's just not good at the moment. For Gary Gator, we have a yellow flag, and he retired. And that's a safety car deployed. Safety car in the slot then, with Ferrari leading the pack from 2 Mercedes, 2 RBs, Sauber and Haas, with 2 McLarens on the sidelines. So there you go. So I think the Temp is gonna restart early on this one, on lap 12. Bit of a correction there from him, but yeah, he pulled away quite nicely there, although Rambos is closing in on him slowly but surely. But I think Temp has a little bit more better straight line speed. We'll see how the Inter is going to perform against the wet tires. But we see Rambos, who is very close to the rear of the Ferrari. Bit of a Leclerc Hamilton action going on, with Bottas being a rear, with Jay playing Valtteri Bottas in this role play. So some sort of exchange between Neo and D-Bob for P6. Neo gets ahead of D-Bob and will inherit that position. We saw Rambos and Jade, Jesus Christ, Rambos and Temparo in the first and second corners. And Temp just made a mistake there, and Jay got caught up in it, and Marcel capitalizes on it and gets ahead of Jay. We see Jay Getting closer and closer, but not close enough. Marcel makes a mistake there, which will allow Jay to capitalize on it. He looks on the inside of Lesmo 1. Will he make it stick? Not quite. Marcel will keep it for now. But it goes Mantis and Jay, who have a collision. And Jay's round. Mantis is slowing down. Devo gets a position, then also Neo. As a result of that, does Jay have damage? He does have damage on the right side of his car. That's what. Switching to Rambos. Oh my god, what the hell just happened there? Rambos outbroke himself, just hit Temp behind him and lets him through. 29. Okay, so Rambos has advantage on the ERS against the Temp there, who makes a mistake into Ascari, which will allow Rambos to close in on Ferrari, who is answering with using his ERS or whatever he's got left of it to keep the position from the Mercedes. But Rambos will get much better exit and traction off the Parabolica, as they're now going through the start-finish straight, with Rambos pushing on his battery against former Mojo Down's former Nibidi. As they go now around the first corner, Rambos barely makes that corner, and Temp will keep that place still. Ferrari against Mercedes. Leclerc against Hamilton and Bottas. Relived. Rambos is getting closer into Parabolica, but the question is, will it make it stick? Final lap is now underway between Temp and Rambos. Rambos is going to push on his battery. Look how much he's gaining with that against Temp, who is going to try and fight it back if he can. Rambos has the lead, but Temp on the inside. Contact between the two forces Rambos off the track, cut the corner. 10-second penalty for Rambos with that, and Rambos is in danger in potentially losing that place to Temp once they cross the finish line, unless Rambos makes a report of that to stewards. But Rambos, potentially is a loss on his name, as Neo just set the fastest lap, 27.8, so he's gonna get an extra point to his tally. But look at how Rambos is pulling away from Temp. It's just, it was inevitable. Temp was gonna fight for it, but I mean, yeah, that's just unfortunate for Rambos there. He Temp just misjudged the braking point there and just outbroke himself to the point where Rambos had to was forced to go off the track, got the corner and get the penalty. But we'll see if that will be reported to stewards eventually. But we're now going to approach the start-finish line for the final time of this race. Jonas Rambos is going to take it on track first, but it's going to be Temp with his first league victory of his career. Marcel will jump ahead of Rambos as a result of that, for now, if Rambos doesn't decide to make a report. But that's for now. Temp, Marcel and Rambos the top three. Mantis will finish in 4th place. D-Bob will take 5th place. Jay, who had a squabble with Mantis between the Lesmos, he's going to take 5th place because of D-Bob's penalties. And Neo, who has the fastest lap, will finish the race in 7th place. This has been your Commentator, Meister. Thank you very much for watching the stream, and we will see you next Wednesday for some more Division Alpha action.